Picture this. You are weaving effortlessly through rush-hour city traffic in a car so compact that it slips into parking spaces others can only dream of, yet it quietly hums along, packed with enough technology to power not just your laptop, but your entire campsite for a weekend adventure. Now imagine that this tiny, quirky electric vehicle is not just another urban novelty, but a serious contender to revolutionize affordable city mobility. This is not just a fantasy. This is the bold claim behind Hyundai's all-new INSTER, a vehicle that has ignited both excitement and skepticism in the world of urban electric cars. Today, we're taking a deep dive into this pint-sized powerhouse. Is the INSTER all hype, or is it truly a game-changer for city life and the future of eco-friendly transport? Let's wind back the clock a bit. For decades, automakers have tried, and often failed, to create small, affordable electric city cars that are practical enough for everyday use. The challenge is enormous. Take a city car, already tiny by design, and try to fit in a battery big enough to offer real-world range, without making the car too heavy, too expensive, or simply too cramped. Historically, the result has been a graveyard of unfulfilled promises and short-lived models. The streets of major cities like London, Paris, or Tokyo have often remained oddly empty of genuinely practical small EVs, until now. Enter Hyundai, a company with a reputation for breaking molds and reimagining what's possible in automotive design. With the INSTER, Hyundai isn't just tweaking the formula, they're rewriting the city car rulebook. Inspired by the Casper, a microcar previously exclusive to South Korea, the INSTER takes that winning formula, stretches the wheelbase and body for extra space, and injects it with an infusion of technology and sustainability that's rare in this segment. What immediately sets the INSTER apart is its striking design. Those oversized circular headlights, reminiscent of classic rally cars, give it a playful confidence, while the futuristic pixel-style rear LED lights hint at a digital-savvy DNA. The INSTER sits at just a touch over 3.8 meters in length. Yes, that's just short of 4 meters, making it easy to navigate even the narrowest city alleyways. Yet, with its SUV-inspired stance, raised roofline, and bold colors, it refuses to blend into the urban background. You could say it's a city car with a little attitude. But the design brilliance is more than skin-deep. The INSTER is packed with clever, user-focused features that show Hyundai's designers have really thought about how city dwellers actually live. Open the doors, and you'll find sliding rear seats that can be moved forward to expand trunk space, or backward for extra legroom. A simple yet game-changing flexibility for anyone who's ever wrestled with a week's worth of groceries in a backseat full of friends. All 4 seats can fold flat, transforming the interior into a mini camper or a mobile lounge, perfect for an impromptu picnic or catching a nap between meetings. There's even a walk-through gap up front, making it easier for kids, pets, or adventurous adults to slip between the front seats, a feature rarely seen outside of much larger minivans. Inside, practicality meets style and sustainability. The dashboard is a masterclass in usability. Old-school tactile buttons for climate and infotainment controls sit alongside a 10.25-inch touchscreen. No more endless scrolling just to turn up the heat or change the radio. Hyundai has clearly listened to the complaints about modern cars burying essential features in digital menus. Even better, the INSTER keeps USB and USB-C ports front and center, right where you need them, rather than hiding them in some awkward cubby. But perhaps most impressive is Hyundai's commitment to sustainability, not just as a marketing slogan, but as a core engineering principle. The INSTER is built using recycled waste tires for the exterior trim, and inside, you'll find bio-based plastics made from sugarcane and recycled PET bottles. In a world where greenwashing is all too common, this is a tangible, measurable step toward reducing the environmental impact of car manufacturing. It's a quiet revolution, one that could set a new standard for the entire industry if other automakers follow suit. Let's talk numbers, because in the end, real-world performance is what matters. The INSTER comes with 2 battery options. The standard 42 kilowatt-hour pack delivers a real-world range of just over 200 miles, enough to commute across most major cities several times before you need to recharge. Opt for the long-range 49 kilowatt-hour battery, and you can stretch that to nearly 230 miles, according to official WLTP figures. But what's really impressive is that in real-world testing, the INSTER comes tantalizingly close to these numbers, averaging around 220 miles on a single charge. That's a level of honesty many EV makers have struggled to deliver. The secret sauce? Weight, or rather, the lack of it. The INSTER tips the scales at just about 1,335 kilograms, making it one of the lightest full-featured EVs on the market. This featherweight construction, combined with an efficient electric motor, means the INSTER sips energy at nearly 5 miles per kilowatt hour. That's not just good, it's best-in-class efficiency. For urban drivers, it means lower running costs and less time spent tethered to a charger. Charging itself is refreshingly quick. The INSTER supports rapid DC charging up to 85 kilowatts, allowing you to top up from 10 to 80% in around 30 minutes under optimal conditions. For at-home charging, the onboard 11 kilowatt AC charger makes overnight refueling easy and convenient. And for those chilly winter mornings, a standard high-efficiency heat pump and battery heating system keep performance consistent, even when temperatures drop. On the road, the INSTER's driving experience is a breath of fresh air in a world where many EVs feel heavy and disconnected. Thanks to its low weight and compact dimensions, it's nimble and responsive, perfect for darting through city streets or squeezing into tight parking spots. The turning circle is just 10.6 meters, about as tight as you'll find outside of a London taxi, making U-turns and parallel parking almost effortless. The suspension, enhanced with hydro bushings and upgraded shock absorbers, delivers a surprisingly smooth ride, soaking up most bumps and potholes with confidence. Sure, it's not a sports car, and you won't be towing a caravan, but for urban commuting, it's more than up to the task. There are plenty of thoughtful details too. The gear selector is conveniently placed behind the steering wheel, with steering wheel-mounted paddles for adjusting brake regeneration. There's a drive mode button for toggling between eco, normal, sport, or snow modes, letting you tailor the driving feel to your mood or the weather. And for those who find lane departure warnings more annoying than helpful, there's a steering wheel button for quick deactivation, no menu diving required. This pricing has divided opinion. Some, like Ashley Sutcliffe from Driving Electric, call the INSTER a compelling blend of practicality and style, praising its balance of features and affordability. Electrifying.com described it as hugely likable and very capable, a cute, efficient, and oh-so-clever little electric car. Others are more skeptical. Car Expert notes, the INSTER is pricey for a small EV with a small battery and an interior seemingly constructed of Lego, but it's just so easy to fall in love with. Even with its relatively low price for an EV, £25,000 is still a big ask for many city dwellers, especially when used petrol hatchbacks can be had for a fraction of that cost. And that's before we consider the biggest wildcards, government policy and infrastructure. Around the world, cities are scrambling to reduce traffic emissions, with low-emission zones, congestion charges, and outright bans on petrol and diesel cars in city centers. In places like Paris, Berlin, and London, owning a non-electric car is becoming increasingly expensive, and in some cases, almost impossible. If governments ramp up incentives for EVs or roll out more robust charging networks, models like the INSTER could quickly become the default choice for urbanites. Conversely, if subsidies wane or infrastructure lags, even the cleverest EV could struggle to break through. Battery technology is another critical frontier. Right now, lithium-ion batteries are the standard, but they remain heavy, expensive, and resource-intensive. The next leap, solid-state batteries, promises greater energy density, faster charging, and longer lifespan, potentially slashing both costs and charging times. Imagine popping into your favorite cafe and topping up your INSTER's battery in less time than it takes to finish your cappuccino. That's not science fiction. It could be reality within the next 5 to 10 years. However, technology and policy alone do not determine success. Consumer preferences are notoriously fickle. Urban drivers today are younger, more tech-savvy, and increasingly eco-conscious, but they're also pragmatic. They want flexibility, real-world range, and features that fit their lifestyle. The INSTER's playful design and SUV-inspired flair might appeal to millennials and Gen Z buyers seeking something fun and distinctive. Its interior flexibility, fold-flat seats, walk-through cabin, sliding rear bench, caters to young families, pet owners, and weekend adventurers. The vehicle-to-load feature could entice digital nomads or city dwellers who crave a little more freedom. Yet for many, price will remain the ultimate deciding factor. While the INSTER is among the most affordable EVs in its class, it is still out of reach for countless urban residents. The upfront cost, even with lower running expenses over time, is a real barrier. And let's not forget, Urban life is not one size fits all. Some buyers will prioritize driving range, others will focus on cargo space or ride comfort, and still others will care most about connected technology and sustainability. Each of these factors could tip the scales for or against the city EV revolution. Let's zoom out for a moment and look at the bigger picture. The INSTER's arrival is more than just another car launch. It's a window into the changing face of urban mobility. Cities worldwide are growing denser, more crowded, and increasingly hostile to traditional cars. The shift to electrification is not just about cutting emissions. It's about reimagining how we live, work, and move in urban spaces. The INSTER is Hyundai's answer to this challenge. A car that's small enough for the city, smart enough for modern life, and green enough to meet the strictest environmental standards. Even if you aren't shopping for a new car right now, understanding the challenges and breakthroughs in this space can help you spot the right moment to jump in, or push for better policies and infrastructure in your own city. Remember, the future of urban mobility is not just about products, it's about ecosystems. As one industry analyst recently put it, it's not just about building the car, cities need to build the right ecosystem. Here's a fascinating detail most people miss. The INSTER is manufactured at the Gwangju Global Motors facility in South Korea, a joint venture aimed at revitalizing local industry and creating new jobs. This is more than a footnote. It's a blueprint for how automakers and cities can collaborate for mutual benefit, from local employment to global sustainability. From a historical perspective, the journey to create a truly affordable and practical city car has always been fraught with challenges. Think back to the original Mini in the 1950s, or the Fiat 500 in the 1950s and 60s. Both vehicles that redefined what a city car could be, not just in size, but in spirit. The INSTER, in many ways, is the spiritual successor for the electric age, compact, clever, and unapologetically urban. So, what are the implications if the INSTER succeeds? For one, it could accelerate the shift away from larger, more resource-intensive vehicles in cities, reducing congestion and pollution. It might inspire a new wave of compact EVs from other brands, think Toyota, Honda, or Volkswagen, all racing to capture the growing urban market. Conversely, if costs remain high and infrastructure lags, the INSTER could become just another niche product, admired but seldom seen on the road. Looking ahead, the next few years will be pivotal. Advances in battery manufacturing, the rollout of charging infrastructure, and the evolution of government incentives will shape not just the INSTER's fate, but the entire landscape of urban mobility. As cities continue to ban older cars and promote greener transport, the demand for smart, flexible, and affordable EVs will only rise. So, how does this affect you, watching from your own city or suburb? The INSTER story is more than just one model. It's a mirror reflecting the direction of the entire auto industry and the changing realities of city life. If you're even remotely considering an electric vehicle, use the INSTER as a yardstick. Look for solid range, clever space-saving solutions, truly useful technology, and a clear commitment to sustainability. Even if you're not buying today, being informed means you'll know when the right moment comes, or you can advocate for the changes that will make EVs accessible to all. And here's the quiet revolution. The INSTER's use of recycled tires, PET bottles, and sugarcane plastics is not just a feel-good detail. It's a sign that major automakers are now baking sustainability into the very bones of their vehicles. This could be the start of a new era, where eco-friendly materials and circular manufacturing become the norm, not the exception. So, will the INSTER convince city dwellers to make the leap to electric? The answer? It's a bold step in the right direction, but the journey is far from over. Hyundai has packed an impressive amount of innovation, practicality, and style into a compact, approachable package. If technology continues to advance, costs come down, and cities build the right support systems, cars like the INSTER could become the new normal for urban mobility. But the real revolution will only arrive when EVs are truly accessible, not just for a privileged few, but for everyone who calls the city home. It's up to all of us, drivers, policymakers, automakers, and citizens, to make that future a reality. Now over to you. Would a feature-packed city EV like the INSTER tempt you to go electric, or are there still deal breakers holding you back? Are you excited by the prospect of powering your gadgets right from your car, or do you worry about price, range, or charging infrastructure? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this deep dive enlightening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more insights into the future of global mobility and technology. Until